Hi everybody, this is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy. Welcome to lesson number 79. This is a review lesson. Let's begin by setting up the table. You'll need your top 160 sight word list, the sight word study method instruction sheet, the student's sight word card pack, some blank index cards, a highlighter markers, and some pencils. For the phonemic awareness drill, you'll need the teacher instruction sheet and the colored tiles for the student. For the visual drill and auditory drill, you need the teacher instruction sheets and the card pack for the student. We'll do a blending drill in this lesson, so you'll have to have that one ready to go on the table. For the magnetic letter tile drills for reading and spelling, you'll need the teacher instruction sheets and the cookie sheet with the letters spread in a rainbow shape. You'll need the syllable pounding instruction sheet, the new phoneme grapheme kinesthetic discovery sheet, and the sheets for the lesson. In addition, we'll have two sorts. This is an ALE and an AIL, and this drill we did in lesson 77, so you don't have to cut it out again. You can find it there. And the same goes for EA and EE. This drill was done in lesson 77 as well, so you can pull out the cards from that drill. In addition, you might have a timer on the table, and you'll need this if you've introduced the fluency element, the ability to just read with speed, accuracy, and a natural expression. You need a secondary program to do this, like Read Naturally or the 6-Minute Reading Solution. Let's do the phonemic awareness drill. In today's drill, you will not need your colored tiles. I'm going to say a word, and it's either going to sound like the long vowel sound of A or the short vowel sound of A or A. I'd like you to make a gesture to indicate whether it's long or short. So if I said pat, I would hear the apple sound of the short A. So I might make a gesture that looked like this because it might be my short sound. And if it was a long A, I might do a long, like a bigger sound. So you can make some gestures right now. And here's your first word. Pay. Can you repeat that word? I will pay at the till. Okay, do you hear a long A or a short A? Did you say long? I hear that A sound, not the A. Okay, how about this? Dat. Is that an A or an A? Did you say A, the short sound? If you did, that's right. How about this one? Date. Can you repeat that word? I have a date at 7. Okay. Is it a long sound or a short sound of the vowel? In date, I hear A. I hear that A saying its name, so it is a long sound. How about this one? Nad. Can you repeat that? Not any word that I know. Okay, is it a long vowel sound or a short one? Nad. That was a short one. I hear the apple sound. Okay, how about this? Make. Can you repeat that? I will make my bed. Is that vowel sound long or short? I'd make the long gesture because I hear the A of make. Okay, great job. Let's move on. Let's do the visual drill. You'll need the card pack for this one. Student, what sound does this one make? Did you say E? If you did, that's correct. Teacher, do about 6 to 8 flashcards in this way and then come back to me. Let's do the auditory drill. Student, your sound is E. Can you repeat that sound? Now think of all the ways that you know to write the sound E. Write them down, saying the sound as you do it. And after you write down all the symbols, then underline them and say the sound again. Now this is a toughie because there are a lot of ways to say E. Did you say just this one? Oops, let's see if I can get it to, there it is. So just the letter E could do that. How about our vowel teams? At the end of a word, did you remember to say EY? That can make E. How about EE? That can do it. EA can do it as well. At the end of a 2-syllable word that's an open syllable, as in baby, funny, we could have just Y. There are a lot of ways to make the E sound, aren't there? Okay, teacher, you can do about 6 to 8 flashcards in this way. It's time for the blending drill. If your teacher has this one set up on the table, then you can just pause the video. And if not, then keep on playing and you can do it with me. This is where you tap it and say it. Let's do some syllable pounding. You can stretch out your arm, and when I tell you the word, you'll say the word, and then every time you hear a syllable, one of your fingers will come shooting out, and then you can just count them up to see how many syllables there are. Alternatively, you could have your hand under your chin, and when you say the words, for example, less sun, my chin hit my hand twice, so I know there's 2 syllables in that word. Okay, here's your first one. Paycheck. Can you repeat that word? At the end of the week, my job gave me my paycheck. How many syllables are in paycheck? Let's see. Paycheck. I hear the A in pay and the E in check, so there's 2. Okay, new word, meatless. Can you repeat that word? I'm a vegetarian, so my diet is meatless. How many syllables are in meatless? Did you say 2? If you did, that's right. Okay, how about this? Unky. Can you repeat that word? It's not a real word on its own, but if we added one more letter, it sure would be. I hear 2 in that one, the ah in on and the E in key. And if I was going to turn that into a real word, I could say donkey if I added just the D. Okay, great job. It's time to do some syllable scooping. So take out your syllable scooping worksheet, and teacher, you can take out the answer key. And student, as you're scooping the syllables, remember to talk through your thinking. And teacher, you've got an eye on the time, so you'll know how many words can get completed. Now let's practice making some word sums. We're going to have bases, and we're going to add suffixes to different syllable types. Closed syllables, open syllables, and vowel, consonant, silent E. Student, you have a worksheet provided to do this, and teacher, the student won't have time to work through the whole sheet, so what I would do is just highlight, let's pick 1 closed syllable to work on, 1 open syllable, and 1 vowel, consonant, silent E. And remember to discuss your thinking as you're doing it. Let's review ALE words versus AIL words, because there are many words that end in that ALE, pale, male, whale, remember? And there are ones that sound exactly the same, but they're spelled with AIL instead, and they have a different meaning. We have a little story that helps us to remember all of the ALE ones that can be confusing. Student, if you look on the background here, you can see the story playing, and I'm wondering if you can tell the teacher the story of the pale male whale. Now that you've told the story, let's have some time where you can do a drill. So your teacher has the cards that were used in lessons 77 and 78, and these are the same cards. And we're just going to do a quick drill. So teacher, you'll have a card in your hand and you'll say the meaning of it. So I could say this word is sail, and it means a sail is something that you put up on a sailboat. Now student, based on the meaning, Would you spell that word with A-I-L or A-L-E? So teacher, face down, you can give the card to the student. Student, you slide the card to the correct pile. Is it A-L-E under that heading or A-I-L? And then once you make your decision, you can flip it and see if you were right. Now let's review the different words that are really common with E-E and E-A. Vowel teams can be tricky because there are lots of times where we'll have words that sound exactly the same but have a different meaning, and that different meaning is shown by having different spellings. For example, the word feet. I could have F-E-E-T and mean the feet there on the end of my legs, or F-E-A-T, which means feat as in a great accomplishment. It was a great feat when I climbed the mountain. So to help us master these different spellings and meanings, we're going to do a drill. The teacher has the little words on the cards, the same ones that we used in lesson 77, and one word will go down in the table, and then one of you will start the story. And you'll make a story from the first word, and then it's the other person's turn to use a flashcard and read the flashcard and put it into the story. And don't be worried about being silly. This is just a fun activity. Let's do the magnetic letter tile drill for reading. Student, you're going to need your cookie sheet with your letters spread in a rainbow shape. Your sound is S. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Your sound is A. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. There's different ways to make the A sound. We could make it one way if we're using an open syllable, and a different way if we're using a vowel team. And I'll tell you that in this word it's a vowel team. So now think about your spelling and tap it and say it. Make any changes that you need to make. Did you spell this one S-A-Y? If you did, then I will say you got it right. When you hear the A sound at the end of a word that has a vowel team in it, you're going to use the A-Y. Okay, put your letters away and let's try a new word. Your sound is Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Your sound is E. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Your sound is D. Can you repeat that sound? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now tap it and say it. Okay, did you say that this word was read? If you did, that's correct. Now there's different ways to spell this word, so I'm going to have to tell you what type of meaning I'm looking for. I'm thinking about I will read a book. So if that's the kind of read we're looking for, make any changes that you need to make in your spelling. And did you spell this one R-E-A-D? If you did, that's correct. If you spelled it R-E-E-D, well, that is a correct spelling of a word, but that reed is the kind of reed that is a plant, often in the water. A reed sticks up in the edge of the lake. Yeah. Okay, teacher, if you have time, you could do more words in this way. And if not, then you can go on to your single word list, and then the short story, and then you'll add the fluency element if you've added it to the lesson. Let's do the magnetic letter tile drill for spelling. You'll need your cookie sheet with your letters spread in a rainbow shape for this one. Student, your word is paid. Can you repeat that word? I was at the restaurant and I paid the bill. What's the first sound that you hear in the word paid? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in the word paid? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle, or tiles. And what's the last sound that you hear in the word paid? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now tap it and say it. And did you spell paid P-A-I-D? If you did, that's right. When we hear that A sound in the middle of a word and we're using a vowel team, the one we're going to choose is A-I. So you have the word paid in front of you. Now take away the D from paid. Now we're left with P-A-I. And that's an impossibility if we have a word. If I want to say I pay the bill, how would you change it? You have to use a different vowel team when you hear that A sound, and you have to use a vowel team. So if I want to spell I will pay as in I will pay the bill, can you make the change right now? Okay, did you change it to P-A-Y? If you did, that's right. When you hear the A at the end of the word, we'll use the combination A-Y. Okay, put those tiles away and let's try a new word. Your word is pale. Can you repeat that word? Now listen for the meaning. I was feeling ill this morning. I was very pale. What's the first sound that you hear in pale? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in pale? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the last sound that you hear in pale? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now tap it and say it, and think about any additions or deletions you have to make for your spelling. Did you spell this one P-A-L-E? If you did, that's right. That one's one of the words that we remember with the A-L-E family in the pale male whale story. If I wanted to change the meaning of that word but make it stay the same, so it'll still be pale, but I wanted to mean a pail as in a bucket, I brought the pail to the beach, then how would I change that spelling? Change the letters now. Well, in this case, we'll use a vowel team, and we'll spell it P-A-I-L. Great work. Can you grab a lined paper and a pencil, because we're going to write some single words now. Your word is, let's do hay. Can you repeat that word? I might say, it was a hot summer day and it was time to bring in the hay. Okay, tap out the sounds that you hear in hay and say the sounds as you do it. Say the whole word and then write it down. Did you write it H-A-Y? If you did, that's right. When we hear the A sound at the end of the word and we're using a vowel team, we're going to use A-Y. How about this one? Feet. Can you repeat that word? And I'll say, it was a great feat when I climbed the mountain. Which type of spelling are you going to use for this one? Tap it, say it, and write it down. Did you spell this one F-E-A-T? If you did, that's right. Now let's spell the type of feet where these are the feet on, I touched my feet. They're at the end of my legs. How would you spell this one? Tap it, say it, write it down. Did you spell this one F-E-E-T? If you did, that's correct. Okay, let's try this one. Reed, as in, these are plants that you often find on the edge of a lake. Tap it, say it, and write it down. Did you spell read R-E-E-D? If you did, that's right. Okay, teacher, it's time to write some sentences. So you'll read the 3 sentences, and the student will choose the 2 that will be written. After the student writes a sentence, the student will check the work with chops. Let's do a quick review before you go. Let's review the different sounds of the vowel teams that we studied so far. What sound does this one make? And can you tell your teacher where you would expect to find this one in a word? How about this one? What sound does it make? And where would you find it in a word? That one's often found at the end. How about this one? What sound does it make? And how about this one? And this one? And where would you find EY in a word? Yeah, at the end. That's where we'll look for that one. Great job today. That's the end of lesson 79. This is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy.